Now let us continue with this victorious crusade against these worthless mutts and their troubled, enabling owners. Now, one of the things that infuriate me about this dog nut culture more than anything else are these stupid memes that they create. They are very weird and disturbing. This is one of my most hated memes. If the kindest souls were rewarded with the longest lives, dogs would outlive us all. Now, dog nuts have made several different versions of this meme, and I cannot imagine how many dogs in this country alone were looking for somebody to attack, or actually attacking someone at the exact same moment that they were creating each one of these memes. Attack them for absolutely no reason at all. Just like this dog did. We've all seen this video. He spotted the boy. He knew full well that the child wasn't even aware of its presence. That mutt knew full well that this was a child. Dogs know the difference between children and adults, and decided to attack that boy for absolutely no reason at all. It took a cat, a creature that is much more like humans, to save that boy's life. That child did not startle that dog. This was not a case of redirected aggression where the dog was fighting with another dog and got distracted, redirected its aggression towards the child. No, this was not food aggression. None of these stupid excuses that these dog nuts have come up with to explain why dogs attack apply to this situation. This worthless mutant attacked that boy for no reason. The same thing happens to several children every day, where dogs will hop fences, crawl under fences, crawl through holes, right? Run out the door as soon as you crack it to get to children to attack them for no reason at all. Children are their favorite targets. This is the behavior of creatures that these people call the kindest souls. This dog culture is based on lies. You're walking peacefully down the sidewalk, and out of nowhere comes a stupid, stinking mutt charging at you, right? Lunging at you, growling and barking, threatening you with physical violence, showing you its teeth. Oftentimes, dogs will leap over fences, and you don't know if this will be one of those moments. So your anxiety level is sky high. Your heart rate has increased, right? Your nervous system is in fight or flight mode because you are being threatened with violence by a deadly creature, threatening you with deadly force by creatures that these dog nuts claim have the sweetest souls. Again, this dog nut culture is based on disgusting lies to the point that it's immoral and criminal, right? Which is a comparison of dogs to other creatures when they call dogs the sweetest souls. Sweetest souls compared to who? They're comparing them to not only humans, but other animals. But no other animal in society does that. They're not going to lunge at you, bark, or hiss at you. They're not showing signs of aggression. You get close to any other animal, ducks, squirrels, rabbits, cats, they're going to run away. How is it that the only creatures that greet humans with terror and aggression are said to have the sweetest souls. Again, lies. These stupid memes are truly infuriating. How about this one? Many of you, I'm sure, have seen this. No one has the right to hurt me. Right? Who came up with that? They sit back and come up with the dumbest, weirdest lies to turn them into memes, to narrate for these mutts, as if the dogs are actually saying this. The same creature, by the way, that behaves in the way that I just explained, harassing people, attacking people for no reason, is saying no one has the right to hurt me. Memes like this reveal how dysfunctional the thought process of dog nuts truly is. Now, I live in Ohio. Ohio law specifically states that you may kill a dog that is chasing or approaching you in a menacing fashion, demonstrates an attack attitude, or has already bitten a person or a person's livestock. So this meme is especially foolish when dog attacks on humans are so common that laws had to be passed to permit potential victims to lawfully shoot dogs. You don't have laws like this for any other creature, only dogs. We had to create a special unit of our law enforcement for dogs, special equipment for dogs. You need a leash on dogs, no other creature. Right? Because it's dogs that don't have the right to hurt humans, specifically children. It would make more sense to make memes like this for other animals in society because they don't attack people. Just imagine if dogs were as peaceful as rabbits, as harmless as rabbits. They would build these anti-dog cruelty organizations around the dog's level of harmlessness. That would be the first thing that they would point out. Why would anybody hurt a dog? Dogs don't hurt people. They're the sweetest, kindest creatures out there. Never hurt anyone. But they can't say that. And they have the nerve to make stupid memes like this. Wouldn't it make sense to make a meme like this for their own children? You would think so. 6,000 dog abuse cases each year compared to 500,000 kids in the ER. Millions upon millions that get bitten. They don't make memes like this for their own children. Only dogs touch their hearts enough to motivate them to create such loving, weird, criminal, and immoral memes. It is sickening. Now, what is this? Right? Oh no. What have we found here? Physical affection releases feel-good hormones. One of the reasons why hugging, holding hands, and touching feel good to us is that the behaviors elevate our level of oxytocin, a hormone that reduces pain and causes a calming sensation. Haven't we heard that before? Haven't we heard that said about dogs? And they project dogs as having some type of special power as a result. And as I said in previous videos, it has nothing to do with the dog itself. It has to do with you and what you're deciding to engage in, what you are doing that causes those reactions. Physical affection is related to lower blood pressure. We've heard that before. Among women, those who receive more hugs from their romantic partners have lower resting blood pressure. as this study illustrates. It is unclear whether the same is true for men. I'm quite sure it is. A new study reports that holding hands with a loved one can provide relief from physical pain. They used EEG to measure brain waves. Data showed that when the couples were just in the same room, their brain waves would start to match up. This occurred specifically with the band that corresponds with focused attention. When couples held hands while the woman was in pain, the brain length synchronization was at its highest. But when that couple wasn't able to touch while she was in pain, the synchronization ceased. In other words, when they're in the same room and there is no pain, there is brain synchronization. But when the woman is in pain, they're in the same room, and there is no touching, the synchronization stops. But if in that moment he were to go up and hold her hand, the synchronization returns, and it is even stronger than before. It reads, "It appears that pain totally interrupts this interpersonal synchronization between couples, and touch brings it back." Just as I said in previous videos, you could show affection to a stuffed animal and it would aid in pain relief, lower blood pressure, stress relief. It has nothing to do with some special dog magic possessed by these worthless mutants. All right, what else? Physical affection reduces stress. Stress, pain, blood pressure. All of the things that they gave dogs credit for are actually achieved through affection with other humans. In fact, far more effectively with humans. Why? Because when the entity that you're being affectionate with is able to empathize with your pain or your situation, then pain relief, stress relief, and blood pressure is lowered more effectively. This article reads, more tests were then performed to measure the man's amount of empathy towards his partner. The more empathetic he was, the more the couple's brain waves matched, the more her pain subsided. When you rub on that disease-infested mutt, all it is thinking about is food. So it is less effective to deal with a mutt than it is to deal with a human. Right? Even language, that strengthens your bond. Communication is the key to a strong relationship. You can't communicate with no dog. Sometimes the sound of your partner's voice helps to relieve pain and stress and comforts you. How can you dare compare a mutt to another human, your own species? So no, there's nothing special about dogs. These dog nuts want to believe that dogs have some special magic, some special type of heart that enables them to care on a level beyond humans, such that they lower our blood pressure, stress, and reduces pain. Ridiculous. This meme says, why do we love dogs so much? Because they are living proof that good still exists in the world. Isn't this insane? When you think about it, you have to wonder, how dare these people make such offensive memes? These are offensive to people who have been attacked and mauled by dogs and have had their life completely, permanently changed from dog attacks. If this were true, then why do they need these? No other creature in human territory requires a muzzle. Why do you have to train dogs not to attack people? Why do you have to socialize them? Why do they require a leash if they are so good? Why do they require all these things? All these restraints if they are so good? Blatant, in your face lies. The lies that this dog culture projects are disgusting. They are so ridiculous. It is hard to believe that they've been able to get away with it for so long without having anybody challenge this nonsense. This is a true crusade, a true movement, a true change in social interaction, because this absurd, wicked culture is finally being openly objected to, challenged. This one says, there is no such thing as a bad dog, only bad owners that raise them. Many of you have probably seen this stupid meme. In other words, you get a new dog. Okay, let's teach it not to maul people. That's what they call a good owner. Somebody who has to train the dog against its natural urge to maul people. How does that work? People who don't watch their dogs are called bad owners. They have to watch the dog and look for signs of aggression or a possible attack. Owners that do that are called good. How does that work? All dogs are bad. That's what that tells you. And people who halfway train the dogs against their aggressive instincts are called good. How does that work? How is a dog not bad if I have to train it to not be bad? Again, you don't have to train cats, rabbits, squirrels not to attack. It's like a science with these dog nuts. You have to be in a laboratory coming up with new ways to train dogs not to be the natural killers that they are. And they say there's no such thing as a bad dog. They're all naturally bad. Dogs that don't go around attacking people most of the time are unnatural. You wouldn't need a leash. Let's see how peaceful they are when you let them go in public. Another meme says, if people had hearts like dogs, the world would be a better place. Yeah, hearts like this. Come within 20 feet of them and they're barking and lunging at you, trying to attack you, threatening you. We simply fight and try to kill each other every time we saw each other, someone we didn't know. You'd have a physical fight with every unknown person that comes within 20 feet of you. And that's the kind of heart that humans need. Where did they get this from? How do they get away with making this kind of garbage? A dog can't change the world, but they can change your world. Yeah, by shitting all over the place, contaminating our water, barking incessantly, harassing people, disturbing the peace, attacking people. This meme is 100% true because they do cause us to live in a different world. What else do they do? Show you affection? That's what dog nuts will say. How? Running up to you when they see you? When you walk through the door, pouncing on you, licking on your face? That's not affection. They are begging for food. But when a person is starving for attention, the way these dog nuts are, a scavenger begging for food can fulfill that desire. When a person has insecurity issues, they can feel better by having a worthless scavenger beg for food from them. All they want is that attention, and they're going to interpret it as admiration, as affection. It is embarrassing. All of these memes are weird, disturbing, most importantly, false. All of the phrases are like scriptures, the religious text for this demonic dog worship cult. And they all contain overt lies that work together to fuel this culture, this dog nut culture that requires the sacrifice of human blood, primarily the blood of children, in order to exist. It has to happen. Dogs can't exist in our society the way they are without bloodshed. It's impossible because they are violent by nature. They're going to attack millions. But these lies are being systematically deconstructed, slowly but surely. And they will eventually fail to serve as fuel for this demonic cult of dog worshipers. And once they are unable to justify the presence of these mutated scavengers that they worship, basic humanity and decency will take over. And the blood sacrifices required for their existence will begin to end. Our future will be one where if we see dogs in our territory, they will be lawfully tracked down and neutralized like the dogs that they are. The idea of bringing them into our home, around our children, and treating them like family will be nothing more than an embarrassing memory of our history. Now, this information takes us one step closer to that future, exposing the lies of dogs being projected as some type of innate magical creature with the ability to reduce pain and stress and blood pressure is a victory that should not be taken for granted, because these allegations represented one of the most important foundations upon which they have tried to justify the presence of these worthless mutants. But one by one, this crusade will dismantle every facet of lies that holds this dog nut culture together.